Daniel Croft,
Carly Young.
Natalie McCarty.
this is a true story.
Of 20 students
Picked to learn in a classroom
and have their lives changed
when teachers stopped giving lectures.
and started giving projects.
This is the real world.
Project style.
As Mark Prinsky said, students in our classrooms are changing, largely as a result of their outside of school experiences with technology, and are no longer satisfied with an education that does not immediately address the real world in which they live.
What is relevant instruction? Prinsky agrees that teachers should have relevant classroom conversations with their students to enable better understanding from those students. He says that referencing a recent movie or television show rather than an old Western is an excellent way to make education relevant to these students.
What is real instruction? He also agrees that real is a perceived connection by the students between what they are learning and their ability to use that learning to do something useful in the world. It is one of the most important jobs of partnering teachers to help students make these real-world connections for everything they teach.
What is the difference between relevant and real? Real is different from relevant in that it allows students to experience immediate connections every day, whereas relevant instruction is teaching about how something can affect the environment. Real-world instruction will have the students measure Alabama Power's carbon footprint and have them figure out a way to help them save money by going green.
We agree with Prinsky in that we should be teaching students how to take skills in the classroom and apply them in real-world situations. We shouldn't be focused so much on testing the students and learning what they know, but we should be testing them more on how they do things via projects and whatnot.
When students can clearly see how their coursework connects to their goals, interests, and concerns and are able to apply them into situations outside of school walls, they are more likely to be motivated and interested in what they are learning inside the classroom.
When high school students are being asked to write in longhand or to do presentations using kindergarten tools or to simply do simple math on a calculator, why would they find school relevant?
So, what can we do about it?
How can we make social studies real?
When teaching the French or American Revolution, kids find it to be very boring, probably because they can't relate to it or they don't really care about it. So why not teach them something that they're actually living through or know about, the digital revolution? You might ask, how can I do this? Well, it's simple. Put them into two different groups and let them make their own declaration of educational independence. In the two groups, they're able to discuss their rights in the classroom, and then the teacher can actually be a mediator and allow them to vote on the rights that they will be able to use in their classroom on an everyday basis. Not only have they achieved their goal of having rights in the classroom, but they actually learn what happened back then, what actually took place.
How can we make science real?
Making science real is probably the easiest of all the subjects to make real for the students because they live it every day. One way, for example, is physics. You can assign the students a project where they build a contraption which you can set an egg inside of, and they can drop it from a distance like on top of the bleachers all the way down to the ground, and they can measure gravity that way. They can measure the weight. They have to take that in consideration whenever they're building the contraption. Acceleration, friction that the wind's going to cause, all sorts of forces that'll be acting upon that egg, so they have to try to find a way to get the egg safely down to the ground without any harm being done to it. So they have to put all these things into consideration in order to be able to do the project successfully.
How can we make math real? The way to make math real is to make every problem relatable to something that is happening. For instance, the students can create a vacation plan where they can go anywhere in the continental U.S. as long as they can drive there. They will need to know things such as how to calculate the mileage, the gas prices, time to get there at certain speeds, and the food allowance, plus things they will need once they get there. This will teach the students things such as measurements, budgeting, fuel consumption, and time management. How can we make language arts real?
In language arts, teachers can allow their students to display their language arts skills by allowing them to write their very own children's book. After completing their children's book, the teacher can then allow them to make a podcast reading their books to peers. After completing the podcast, teachers can then get their books sent over to a publishing company in hopes that one day their book might get published. This is one terrific way for your kids to use real world learning and language arts.
Class, today we are going to have lectures. Go ahead and take your notes out, and we begin. Womp, 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 womp. We're doing it. Womp, 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 womp. Womp, womp, womp,
Man, she's so
womp,
boring. Oh my
womp,
God.
womp,
I hate this class.
womp, 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 womp.
Excuse me. When are we ever gonna use this? I know you don't know the answer. I call you later.
All right, class, we are going to start doing things differently around here. I took this excellent class over the summer, EDM 310, and it taught me a lot of things about project-based learning. So we are going to stop doing lectures and start doing projects.
I love this class.
I don't know, girl, who you telling? I'm glad she finally took that lesson. Whatever it was helped her out. But she was boring.
I know. I didn't even bring my phone.
Who you telling? Man, I ain't even charged mine last night.
I wonder what we're going to do tomorrow.
I don't know, but I'm gonna be here on time. Ready.
You know that's right. Here's the list of websites that made this podcast possible.
And we also want to take the time out to thank Mark Prinsky for all his wisdom and knowledge.
And we don't want to leave out Dr. Strange. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Bye.
Bye.